Mahopac? Not today you don't. Today you live in Mahopac. And our next guest has lived in Mahopac her whole life. She has memories that you couldn't even dream of having. All those places that you see were very different years ago. We're going to talk about them. My name's Vin Dacquino. Her name is Phyllis Bruns. Phyllis. Man, we're neighbors, we're friends. You have told me so many stories that I finally said, Phyllis, you got to come on the show, man. And you finally said yes. Tell me, what was Mahopac of yesterday like?
It was very countrified. A lot of land.
And many of the stores that are here today were not
here. Strawberry fields.
Strawberry fields.
On Croton Falls Road.
Wow.
Of course, the traffic that's here now.
Oh, yeah. Oh man. I love the story that you always tell about how, you know, you could be on one side and by the time you get to the other side, it was a different world then.
Yes.
It was even a different world when I got here. Now, I've been here since 1986, so I've been around. It was actually December of 86, so like 87. Man, different place. Restaurants, you had choices, like two.
Well.
Now you have Restaurant Row. They actually call it Restaurant Row because of so many restaurants that are just right along Route 6. What was Grand Union then became Key Food, but before that it was
Drive-in movie
a
theater.
drive-in movie theater.
Yes.
Man, that is amazing. That's where Kmart is today.
Yes.
So it was a movie theater. There was also something, I remember another neighbor telling me something about little Christmas trees. That they had some kind of trees they were giving to people. They grew trees or something. And the one across the street from me was like 25 feet tall. And I said, where'd you get that? And he said, at the drive-in.
Okay, that's very possible. I don't particularly remember that, but I do remember Kenny Farms, and that was on Route 6 across from the firehouse.
Wow.
And
today that is a skating rink.
Correct.
And a parking lot.
Yes. But at Christmas time, he always had a live nativity scene.
Wow.
And
a live nativity scene?
Yes,
Wow.
all live animals. And he would have beautiful Christmas trees, and he handmade the wreaths himself, and they were beautiful.
Wow. And that was across from the firehouse. Now, the firehouse, did that change a couple times since you've been here?
Yes. I mean, when we first came, it was always there, but it was smaller.
I remembered that in the front of that firehouse, they had the metal ring.
Yes.
With the, I don't know what you call it, a wand. And that was how they called people to the firehouse. They would ring this ring.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, and there's other things. What else, when you think back as a girl to the Mahopac of yesterday, what's one of the biggest things that stand out in your mind?
One of the biggest things that stands out in my mind is when my family first moved here. We lived on Croton Falls Road. And back then it was known as McLaughlin Acres.
McLaughlin Acres.
And our house and what was known back then as the Putnam County Playhouse shared lawns together.
Wow.
And the Putnam County Playhouse was a summer stock theater. It was excellent, and many famous people came and performed there. I met Will Geer, who everybody should know as Grandpa Walton.
Yeah.
There was Stubby Kaye. He was a comedian and an actor. Red Buttons.
Red Buttons?
He was an Olympic
No
skater.
Kidding.
Molly Pecan was also an actress in the theater. She actually lived in McLaughlin Acres, in the summer mainly.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was an amazing feature to Mahopac.
Yeah, so they had a stage and everything?
They had a stage.
Wow.
It was, of course, back then, it didn't, as a child, didn't seem to me an old barn. But it was theoretically an old barn.
Well, that's not the only one. There was also the Mahopac Farms.
Yes.
I know that was a theater.
Yes, but that was much later.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know that when I was friends with Roy Campanella,
Yes.
Brooklyn Dodger, he had a son, John D. And John D. was in a play. It might have been either Jesus Christ Superstar or Godspell. And he was in that play, and we came. Roy actually came to that playhouse, and we watched his son perform in that play.
Yes.
There are no live theaters like that today. I know there's one in Brewster. One of our directors is an actor, and he's a member of that group, and I've watched him there. And he, I think he's in the middle of a play right now of Scrooge.
Oh.
You know, so the theater. Now, where was that? Near the police station?
No. It was probably from the police station, maybe a mile and a half down the road.
On the road, okay.
And you would make, well,
Near Sheer Hill Road?
well, you go past Watermelon Hill, you
Oh,
go
Watermelon
past
Hill?
Sheer Hill,
Wow.
around
so it's
some of the
really-
sharp
McLaughlin
curves.
Avenue.
Now it's
that's it.
McLaughlin Avenue.
And that was McLaughlin Acres.
Yes.
Oh,
And
I get
what
it.
used to be the Putnam County Playhouse, I believe, has been apartments for many years.
Oh, wow.
But in the summer, it attracted many people came from the city
Yeah, to come and
to
see
come
it.
and see summer stock.
And I imagine they came in on Croton Falls train station.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's not far from that.
No.
Maybe 4 miles, something like that. Yeah, wow,
And
that's amazing.
I was even in one of the plays there.
Really?
They needed a child. Well, actually, my brother and I, we were in Tea House of the August Moon.
Wow.
So it was an amazing experience as a young person.
growing up. Now, speaking of amazing experiences, well, you lived there for a while, and then later you moved.
Yes, then we moved over Wixon Pond.
Right?
And I remember when my father was driving us to the next house we were going to live in. Back then, going over Wixon Pond Road.
You know what the joke of
was
Wixon
quite
Pond
scary.
is? You know what the joke of Wixon Pond is? It is so curved that when a driver drives along it, he could see his own back tail lights as he goes around the bend.
Yes.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like,
yeah.
you know, it's scary. And in the summer, in the winter, it's a nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and now with these huge garbage trucks, and these other trucks, delivery trucks, I mean, there's barely enough room.
You have to be very careful.
Yeah, you have to be very careful. It's pretty scary. And the lake, there's a lake there. You were a member of a
Long Pond Association.
Which
and
is
now
a-
it's another association is Long Pond Property Owners
right,
Association.
that you're a member of, that I'm also a member
Yes.
of. But the Long Pond Association had a clubhouse
Yes, they
that
did.
has since been knocked down.
It was called the casino,
Oh,
and it was open sometimes for the kids to go in and play different games, or they would have
Wow.
meetings. And then I'm going to say now it's probably a good 10 years. They had a controlled burn, the firehouse.
They
fire
actually
depart-
burned it
and
down
they burned it
on
down.
purpose.
Yes.
probably tax reasons.
I believe Long Pond Association could not afford to own that property anymore.
Right.
So I think that went to the state. And yes, the building was.
Now, a little further down the road, there was Chesterfields? No.
Hatfield?
Hatfields.
Yes.
So there was a tavern. Now, was Hatfields the first
It's
commercial?
the first one that I That I knew.
And that was a restaurant that was right on Long Pond
Right on
Road.
Long Pond Road.
Now, Long Pond Road is very interesting because it has 3 names. It begins as Crane Road on Route 6.
Correct.
Then as it takes a sharp curve, it changes its name to Long Pond Road.
Correct.
And then as it takes another curve, it changes its name to Hill Street.
Correct.
So it's all the same one. And it goes from Red Mills all the way down to, I don't know what it's called today, the Ding Dong Deli or
Route 6 Deli.
on Route 6, a little deli right there on Route
Yes.
6. So it winds all the way through. And it
Years ago,
connects-
that deli on Route 6 was owned by a mother and daughter.
Really?
And it was just kind of a shabby little building, but people went in and bought their
whatever they had to do,
candies
but
or
it was
whatever.
and so that's been around
A long time.
long time,
Yes.
and it's changed hands many times.
Several times.
So let's go back to Hatfields. Hatfields was a dining place.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved here in '86, it was called the Long Pond Inn, and it was amazing because it was a game restaurant. They had pheasant under glass. They had game stew. They had venison. And it was amazing food that you just couldn't get anywhere else.
Yes, it was an excellent
Excellent.
dining. Yes.
And it was that for a while. And then it became more of a saloon.
Well, did you know it when it was known as Jason's?
No, Jason's I didn't
So
know.
that was probably before the Long Pond Inn.
Oh.
And
okay.
Jason's was more of a bar hangout.
Ah.
So when it became the Long Pond Inn, everyone that lived in the area was very thankful because it was a whole
more,
different.
it was a gourmet
ballgame.
restaurant.
Yes. Yes.
So then after that, it became something like the Blue Moon or the Moon.
Yes.
And then it was more of, that's when beers, they started to have like 35 different kinds of beer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know they had like all kinds. We loved it because we lived like 2 blocks away. So in a snowstorm, we would walk in and throw snowballs at all the neighbors' windows and wake them up as we went, and then go in
on
and
down.
have a beer or have a, I forgot what they call that. It's like almost like a roast beef with gravy on bread, like an open face kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what they called it, but it was delicious. So we used to go down there and eat. And then now, unfortunately, it has become a residence.
Yes.
So it's no longer
For a
Right.
certain period of time, if it doesn't become a business,
yeah.
then it can
Then it
become.
loses its zoning.
And the home I live in on Long Pond Road in the 40s and late 40s, my home was a little store.
Wow.
For the
yeah,
little
the front
neighborhood.
looks like it could be because it's right. It's very close to the road.
Yes.
So it was like a little neighborhood store.
Yes.
I wish that was still
And
there.
I'm sorry the 2 men that left that talked about the jukeboxes, because there was a jukebox
Really?
in that little store.
So the people, oh man.
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing missing in that neighborhood now. We don't have the restaurant anymore. We don't have any little stores. The closest place is like about 2.5 miles away
Right.
to the deli. And now, oh my God, huge transition. The
It's now going to be Stop and Shop.
right, it's going to be Stop and Shop, and they've redone that entire mall down there.
Yep.
So that's going to be huge, and it's not only a grocery store; it's a supermart.
Yeah.
So they're going to have, fish
Everything.
department and meat department and all kinds of things. So Mahopac is ever changing. Talk to me about the park. Now the town park, which is Sycamore Park,
Yes.
is located on Long Pond, where we have our lake rights.
Yes.
And has that always been a town park?
No. Years and years ago, it was a camp, a co-ed camp,
A co-ed camp?
that young boys and girls came and for the summer. Unfortunately, it wasn't called Sycamore or anything
Right,
like that. I don't
yeah.
really
Recall
remember the
what
name.
it was called, yeah.
I mean, I was just a kid
Google
then
it.
too. And then eventually it became the town park, but even that, when it first became the town park, I can remember waiting on lines to be able to use a tennis court.
Oh, yeah.
Now I take a walk around there.
And no one's using
and
it.
nobody's
What a
using
shame.
the tennis
Beautiful
courts.
tennis courts.
You know, it's,
I've used it a couple times. I mean,
it's just so
really
many
play
changes.
tennis,
but
and there was a handball court.
Yes.
And my kids went to summer camp there.
basketball.
Yeah,
and,
summer camp. And we were members. Now, a little known secret, Mahopacans. If you're a senior citizen and you live in Mahopac, you know that you could go there free. You can get a senior citizen card and you could go there and go
Yes.
swimming. It's a lovely beach.
And picnic.
You know, and there's a gazebo.
Yes.
There's a wonderful playground. Take
Yes.
your grandchildren and go in the playground. Number of events. There used to be. Oh, the Polish festival used to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You go there and you have all these Polish foods, but then they also have a fall festival.
Yes.
They have winter
Easter.
festival. When I was teaching in Pelham, I was drama director. I brought my drama club up to see a play at the park.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids sang some songs and did some things from their show at the park.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a wonderful community place. And now, more good news, they're building a senior center.
Yes.
And there's going to be a senior center at that park so that seniors will have the opportunity to use the park and enjoy it.
Yes. And
So-
it is a lovely park.
Oh,
You know?
it's beautiful, beautiful. And the lake is right there. I mean, I love Long Pond.
Long Pond is a beautiful
It's
lake.
beautiful, well, you know. And then now cross Long Pond, and something else that's been there forever is
Rock Hill Girl Scout
Rock
Camp.
Hill Girl Scout Camp. Girl Scouts come from all over to come to the Rock Hill Girl Scout Camp. They built beautiful cabins.
Yes.
And in the summer, when we're at our dock, we could hear the girls singing at night,
Yes.
doing their little marshmallow roasts and whatever they do. We could watch them swimming on the other side. And what a wonderful lake.
And part of the reason that the lake remains as clean as it is because the whole side of the mountain that is Rock Hill Girl Scout
Right.
Camp, it's
No
always
houses.
been, and I don't believe it can ever change.
Wow. And then
So
the park
that's-
is on the other side.
Yes.
And then there's maybe
Just a few,
5 or 6 houses, and then just lake rides.
yes.
What a wonderful. We
We're
go
very
on the
lucky.
paddle boat in the center of the lake, and we sit out there. It's so perfectly quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just absolutely beautiful. So that's that end. Let's go back into town
Mm-hmm.
and let's talk about the main drag. Recently, there was a movement to beautify it. So they did some changes, and they actually forced some businesses to remodel and to paint their places a little different, put little canopies up. And but what was it like in your day?
Well, you had Mama Bellucci's restaurant.
Mama Bellucci.
To compete with Mama Bellucci's, across the street, right in the town, was Skipper's.
Skippers. Now, Mama Bellucci, I'm guessing, had Italian food
Mama
or Irish
Bellucci had Italian food.
The best,
and
right?
The mother did it, and it was the best.
Yeah.
And that's not to say anything bad about the dugout, or known as Lombardi's.
Now, the dugout, where was that?
That is now the Villa Barone.
The Villa Barone.
But you could fit Lombardi's or the dugout into the Villa Barone. And they had excellent pizza too, but it was a little different style.
Yeah.
Skipper's was more of a bar hangout. And then, of course, you had the Big Top,
Now, Big
which was
Top.
ice cream.
Yeah, that was like. Now, didn't they have like variety things too, like stores, or was it just
Yes, they
ice
did.
cream? And they had things like you could buy crayons and markers
Yes.
and stationery store.
On Route 6, you had a Five and Dime. And there was also a place known as a Sugar Bowl, which was
Sugar Bowl?
owned by friends of mine, their family.
And so what did they do at the Sugar Bowl?
Well, that was a place for young people to go and hang out and have ice cream or soda.
A lot of ice cream.
There was some games that you could play and music, another jukebox.
Now, where on Route 6 is that?
Do you know where the copy store is?
Yes.
Where you can have print and copies?
Yep.
Right there.
Near the hardware store.
Yes.
And
the
across the
Five and
street
Dime.
from what is today
Bliss.
Blitz.
What? Yes.
Bliss. And you can get like wedges and wonderful food. But Bliss was a gas station.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Mr. A's for a while.
Yes.
The Alexanders owned that. They were the same ones who owned what today is called Scoops over in Carmel.
Okay.
And it was called Mr. A's. And when my kids were little, we used to drive. That was our Saturday night or a Sunday. You go over and have an ice cream cone or a hot dog. That was like a big thing. They went from ice cream to food. And some of these little ice cream places began to stretch a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
So that was one of those places. And it was right there at 6.
But in the actual town of Route 6, you had...
Carvel's is gone today.
No, but years ago there was Pressman's Drugstore.
Oh, okay.
And then there was also a store privately owned where you could go and buy clothing. And they also actually repaired your shoes.
When I first got here, that's one of the things that attracted me. The fact that it had, you buy flannel shirts or, it was like the old men's clothing store. And you could buy things, they had select items, and there was a shoe repair.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that they still had a shoe repair shop. And that lasted
for
a very long time.
Yes.
Until recently, actually. And there was a barber shop.
Yes.
And
I don't know if I said it. Rick's Diner.
Oh.
Or Ricky's Diner, and the best hamburger in the world was in Ricky's
really?
Diner.
Ricky's Diner.
Right there.
Now, today we have a huge Japanese restaurant. What was there before?
Well, nothing.
Nothing. It was just kind of like lakefront, right?
Yes.
Now, let's talk about lakefront. Oh, my God. It kills me to think I missed those hotels. There were 7 hotels on that?
I knew the Mahopac Hotel, the Dean House, and the Forest House. And the Mahopac Hotel was more in the town, more over in where Four Brothers and the White Sail, as I remember it.
Right.
And on the weekends and in the summer,
wonderful.
They were all filled.
I would have loved that. It reminds
they were beautiful.
me, there's a hotel in Cooperstown, New York called the Otter Saga. And the Otter Saga Hotel is just elegant at its most. And they have a back porch. And you sit on the back porch and the violinist plays the violin. And you watch the boats on the water in front of you. And you sip your cocktails.
Yep.
And it's just a blast into the past. And there were 7 of them here, and I never saw one.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Every single one was gone by the time I got here, and it kills me to think it. And then across the street, a train station. What town or village or hamlet loses a train station? I would have loved to have had a train station today. Gone. That's gone.
So many people came from the city, in the summer.
Yeah.
And they train station and train was needed, but
just gone. So there's a lot of change. What do you miss the most, Phyllis?
I think probably like family-owned businesses.
Yeah, that's right. Mom, pa shops. I hear you. That personal.
Being a Tomcat, owned by
Tomcat.
the Kellogg's.
When I came here, Tomcat. What a great place. You could buy skis, you could buy skates, you could
anything.
Sport-wise. It was the Dick's Sporting Goods of the day.
Yes.
It was great.
And they were the best.
Oh, what a shame to see that go. And before that, wasn't it like an A&P or something?
There was
someone said
Grand
something
Union
about,
there.
Oh, Grand Union.
Also, yes, at one time.
Wow.
And then where Joe Smith's funeral home is
Yes,
now.
yes.
We used to be allowed, once we got into 8th grade, to come down from, because there was only one school in the town, and we were allowed to come down from the school and go across Route 6, because you have to remember, maybe 3 cars would go by.
Oh, God, that's right.
And there was the chicken in the basket, and there was Sandy's.
Oh, my God.
And we were allowed to go and get our lunch
Yeah.
if we wanted to,
Wow.
and then walk back up the hill to
Phyllis,
school.
you expressed concern when I told you to come on the show.
Yes.
Because we wouldn't have enough time.
Oh, okay.
Phyllis,
No.
we have about a minute and a half left, and we have a
Okay.
whole town to cover. Accept my invitation. You need to come back. We didn't even touch some of the wonderful things about this town. Folks, Mahopac
Yes.
used to be, when I lived in Terrytown with my infant children, it used to be the boonies in the middle of nowhere. Who would ever go to Mahopac to live? I would, and I'm glad I did. It's a wonderful place. And thank you for bringing us back, sharing some of the wonderful things. So many other things I wanted to talk to you about, so you must come back. Phyllis, thank you for being here.
Thank you very
And I
much.
promise I'll try not to say Mahopac.
Thank you so much.
Mahopac. I will
Mahopac.
say Carmel, though. No, I won't say that either. It's Carmel.
Thank you.